friends here. I'm also thankful to Mr. Divisha for taking all the pains to arrange this program. I also welcome Dr. Tiwari, Vice Chairman, ASM International, Professor Altekar, and Mr. Daftari, who was sitting quietly in the end row. But you should be aware that after this lecture, Mr. Prem Arora will speak on furnaces. He is manufacturing furnace himself. Then Dr. Tiwari will be talking about the quenching medium, and Professor Altekar, along with his colleague, will be taking case studies. The first lecture we will be covering within 90 minutes. Out of that, 80 minutes are divided into two sections. First is basic fundamentals and second is different processes. And 10 minutes are left for question answer session. If you feel tired after 40 minutes, we can always take a break for 5 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. If you are tired, you kindly let me know. Heat treatment subject is very, very complex, but today we are here to make it very, very simple. I am sure after 90 minutes you will feel more confident than me. Before we start, may I request all the people to switch off their mobiles so that we do not get disturbed with the rings. Now today our subject is basic fundamentals of heat treatment of steel, and we will also cover various types of processes in heat treatment. I am basically metallurgist. I have done my metallurgical engineering from MR Engineering College, Jaipur in the year 1975, and I have done my post-graduation from VJTI in the year 1981. That time I was working and doing part-time. Next. Introduction of the delegates we already taken silently, and we know who is attending. The mostly people, senior people are from UNABEX, and middle level people, middle management people are from international space, with two exceptions, one from Pune and one from Mumbai again. Now we will be covering basically basics and definitions. We will cover steel grade, we will cover iron carbon diagram, grain size, hardenability, stress relieving. Next. Normalizing, annealing, TTT diagram, hardening and tempering, Mar tempering, Aus tempering, hardness check. After this, if you feel tired, you give me twinkle, so we can take break of 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, we will be covering case carburizing, pack carburizing, liquid, gas, carbon nitriding, gas nitriding, iron nitriding, liquid nitriding, induction hardening, and then we will be going for question answer session. In question answer session, since you are also doing heat treatment, first opportunity will be given to the candidate who is present here, so that if you have got any experience, you can share knowledge with other candidates. Basic fundamentals and second with the processes. Next. Heat treatment is nothing but heating and cooling of components. The objective is to achieve desired mechanical properties and to achieve desired microstructure. When we are achieving desired mechanical properties, that means in turn we are looking for desired microstructure. Mechanical properties and microstructure, they are related with each other. The mechanical properties which we are looking for, they are tensile strength, toughness, ductility, hardness. What is hardness? Hardness is nothing but resistance to the penetration. What is steel? Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon where carbon content is less than 2%. When carbon content is more than 2%, it becomes cast iron. What is steel? Steel is a game of iron and carbon. If there is no carbon, there is no steel. If there is no carbon, there is no heat treatment. Without carbon, metallurgical engineering would not at all. Today we will be concentrating only on the steel. Cast iron is not our subject today. Now this steel is divided into 4 categories, basically carbon steel, alloy steel, stainless steel, tool steel, and special purpose steel. Today we will be concentrating basically on carbon steel to understand the fundamentals, and partially we will be covering alloy steel. We will not be taking stainless steel, special steels, or any other steels. Now carbon steel is basically again divided into 3 categories. One is low carbon steel, 0.08 to 0.29% carbon. Second is medium carbon steel, 0.3 to 0.49. High carbon steel, 0.5 to 0.95%. Next. Steel, as we have seen, is a game of iron and carbon. This carbon steel also contains in small amount of manganese, silicon, sulfur and phosphorus. But today we will not be worrying about silicon and phosphorus. will not be worrying about other alloying elements which are available in very small quantities. The popular system of steel grade is AISI, that is American Iron and Steel Institute. When we say AISI 1040, 10 indicates it is a carbon steel, 10 indicates it's a carbon steel, 40 divided by 100, 0.4 indicates carbon content. Whenever you are doing heat treatment, whenever you are seeing any composition, first concentrate what is the carbon content of the steel. Normally AISI 1010 grade is used for sheet metal work, which is used in automobile industries, which is soft and ductile. Whenever two cars are meeting with an accident, you will see that the sheet is not breaking, it is only bending, because it is a low carbon steel, it is very ductile, there is no hardness. 1050 grade is used for axles and shafts, and 1080 grade, that is Austempered grade, is used for more strength and more hardness, and normally it is used for springs in railways and automobiles. 11XX, 12XX, 12L14, 10B21, these are free machining steels. Next. Now we have chart with us which indicates carbon steel, manganese steel. When it is a carbon steel, plain carbon steel, the first two digits are 10. When it is a manganese steel, the indication is 13. If you come to know 13, that means manganese steel. Nickel steel, the initial starts from 2. Suppose it is 23, initials are 23, that means 3.5% is nickel. And if it is 2340, that means 0.4% carbon. Nickel chromium steel, the first indication is 3. If it is 3,1, it contains nickel and chromium. Molybdenum steel, it starts from 4. Molybdenum chromium 4140. EN19 grade is very, very popular, 0.4% carbon. Chromium steels, they start from number 5. When we say 50 to 100, 52 means chromium steel, it contains medium chromium, 100 means 1% carbon, used for ball bearing. Chromium vanadium steels, they start from 6. When we say 61, that means 1% chromium. Silicon manganese steel starts from 9. If we say 9 to 2% silicon. Next. Now these iron atoms, whatever nature has made everything in this world very, very intelligent. And these iron atoms and carbon atoms are very, very intelligent, naturally. So they always behave in a particular pattern. Excuse me. So there are two types of patterns which are available. Two types of structures we have. One is BCC and one is FCC. BCC is body-centered cubic and FCC is face-centered cubic. In BCC, there are 8 atoms on the corner of the cube and there is 1 atom in the center of the cube. In face-centered cubic structure, there are 8 atoms on the corner of the tube and on each face there is another atom. Face-centered. There is no atom in the center. Okay? Next. Steel is an allotropic element. It can exist in more than one crystalline form. It is something like a water. 0 to 100 degrees, liquid solution water. Above 100, steam. Below 0 degree, it is an ice, solid form. Solid, liquid, gaseous. So steel is also behaving in the same way. Pure iron in metallurgical language is known as alpha iron. When we say alpha iron, do not get worried. It is nothing but iron. It's another name. It has got BCC structure, body-centered cubic. It is known as ferrite. In metallurgical language, it is known as ferrite. Like Dilip Kumar. The actual name is Dilip Kumar, but another name is Yusuf Khan. Something like this. So ferrite is again a traditional name, a metallurgical name for iron. The other phases which are available are cementite, that is Fe3C, iron carbide, iron with 6.67% of carbon. This is hard, and ferrite is soft. Next. Another available phase available with us is austenite, which is known as gamma iron. It has got FCC structure, face-centered cubic. This phase is available at higher temperature. It is non-magnetic in nature. It is a homogeneous phase consisting of solid solution of carbon in gamma iron. What is solid solution? The steel is in solid state and the carbon atoms are existing in between these iron atoms. So carbon atom and iron atoms, they have combined in one structure. So that is known as solid solution, because in solid state they are existing. Next. Now we have another phase available with us, which is known as perlite. Perlite is nothing but alternative layers of ferrite and cementite. Ferrite we already defined, cementite we have already defined. Next. Martensite is another phase which is available with us. Martensite is a super saturated solution of carbon in iron, that is ferrite, that is alpha iron. Martensite is unnatural phase. Martensite is man-made phase. Nature has not made that phase. Like Coca-Cola, made by man. Nariyal Pani, natural phase, made by Almighty, natural. This is unnatural phase. And because of this unnatural phase, we are getting hardness in the steel. Now steel with 0.77% of carbon, that is 0.8 for our talking, is known as eutectite steel. Less than 0.8, hypoeutectite. And above 0.8, it is known as hyper. Once we are clear on these fundamentals, we will now go to iron carbide diagram, also known as iron carbon equilibrium diagram, also known as iron carbide diagram or iron cementite diagram. They are same name for the same diagram. Do not get confused. When somebody says iron carbon, iron cementite, iron carbide, they are all same. Next. Now this is the diagram which we have to understand clearly before we go for the fundamentals for the steel. Once this is clear in our mind, heat treatment will be very, very easy. Now on left axis, we have plotted carbon content, and y-axis, we have plotted temperatures. Now on x-axis, the important temperature is 0.8, which is known as eutectite point. Eutectite steel we have already defined. On y-axis, A1 temperature is 723 and A3 temperature is 910. Now we have to only concentrate on x-axis 0.8% carbon, and on y-axis what we are interested is 723 and 910. If you see on left hand side, here we got alpha phase and perlite. Alpha phase we already described ferrite and perlite. On right hand side we got perlite and cementite. When we are taking to higher temperature, the steel is getting converted to austenite. Austenite is nothing but face centered cubic structure. Now taking steel from room temperature to austenitic region and again having a controlled cooling related with time is all heat treatment amount. Heat treatment is nothing but taking ferrite or perlite and cementite to austenitic region. So whatever is happening in this region. Whatever is happening in steel is from room temperature. Either you have got ferrite or you have got perlite, or you have got perlite and cementite. If it is more than 0.8, you have to take it to austenitic region, give a proper soaking. When the furnace temperature cuts off for 25 millimeter, that is 1 inch diameter, you have to give 1 hour soaking, so that all BCC structure gets converted to FCC structure. Once it is converted to FCC structure, you have formed austenite. And again from austenite, either you form perlite, cementite or ferrite. This is all about heat treatment, taking from room temperature to higher temperature, again bringing down. Now on right hand side you can see annealing and hardening temperature. What is annealing? Annealing is a softening technique where you want to homogenize all the structure, and after cold working, hot rolling, forging or work hardening, you have to anneal the component so that component is soft and further machining is possible. Now annealing and hardening temperature, they are you can say they are absolutely in the same range. Now, normalizing temperature is little higher. What is normalizing? Normalizing is again taking to austenitic region, giving proper soaking, taking out the furnace and cooling in air. Anybody is doing normalizing here in the workshop? In your workshop, are you doing normalizing?
We used to do.
You used to do earlier. Okay, then which is the furnace?
Induction furnace. We got oil fire furnace.
Oil fire furnace. Then you are cooling in
Yeah.
air. Okay. And normalizing we have defined, annealing we have defined, and then we have another spherodizing. Spherodizing is again a stress relieving process. but that is done below 721 degree centigrade. Normally stress relieving is done at about 600 degree centigrade. And as I have told you that you have to give for 25 millimeter 1 hour soaking. If the diameter of the shaft is 1 inch, 1 hour soaking. If it is 4 inch, 4 hours soaking. Is